School officials in several states have adopted a controversial tactic in trying to bring childhood obesity under control. They are sending what some call fat letters to the parents of kids judged to be overweight or obese based on their body mass index.
Now there's a push in Massachusetts to stop sending these letters. And let's talk it over with Dr. Jen Hartstein, a child psychologist, and Lee Woodruff, a CBS This Morning contributor. Good morning to you both. We're going to try to keep the fisticuffs down here.
We're ready.
Jen, let's start with you. I mean, what was your reaction to this policy?
Well, I think that, as a public health measure, there's a lot of merit. But I think the way that the message is delivered is really the problem. If you were a parent getting a letter home saying, by the way, the BMI, the body mass index, height to weight ratio of your child is too high, they're in this obese category, so fix it. Well, what if you're doing everything you can to fix it and they still are in that range? It can be very shaming. Weight is a very hot button issue for parents, for kids. It really can create a lot of problems and a lot of worry. So it kind of borders on the line of problematic.
The American Heart Association says that they approve of this measure, and it's because 1 in 3 American kids and teens is overweight or obese. It's 3 times now today what it was in 1963. And when you look at the public health system, some people don't have access to it still, but every kid is in school.
And I think here's the issue as a parent. It's not the intent. The intent is a wonderful intent. I think it's the way the message is delivered. Because as a parent, how do you not get that letter to the parent or guardian of and see it as a report card, as a way of you.
If you got that letter, how would you react?
I would probably feel like, where's the personal touch here? And my children are in a public school, and I feel like there are a lot of channels for communication now. There are email, there are teachers, there are school nurses, and I recognize that every town has different socioeconomic a picture. It's a matrix, but I think a form letter, the other part of the form letter is that all the kids ultimately find out. It becomes an area for ridicule. This is a really, really sensitive period in a kid's life, as Jen said.
And parents, parents gossip and bully the same way that kids gossip and bully, unfortunately. So the parents are out there talking about it, or they're talking about it on the phone, and then their kids hear, and then the kids, and we know that overweight children are bullied more than underweight children.
Is it about putting it down on paper, in effect, making it sort of an official document, if you know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know that there's personal follow-up. I think that some of that is, the issue is like, hey, here you go, take care of it.
And I don't think there are any solutions given either. So it's just sort of like, here's the problem, see ya. And then that creates a lot of stuff on the back end.
As a parent, are grades different? I mean, for example, let's say as a parent you get your report card, which would never happen as a parent, you, Lee, but you get the report card.
All A's across the board.
That you get an F, for example. Don't kids and families and people in the community find out about that as well? And how is that different from this?
It's a really good point. I mean, I think kids do, but in the area of grades, and Jen, you may have a different feeling about this, there's a place where there are solutions to work toward it. You get a tutor, you stay after class, you work harder, mom helps to, bring up your grade. Just throwing a letter out that says you're overweight is, to me, not a great way to deal with what's a sticky situation.
Well, it also doesn't account for things like muscle mass. It doesn't account for any genetic factors. It doesn't account for medical illnesses. So you're getting a letter that says you're not doing this right, which is how it might be interpreted, and what are you doing about it, but I'm not giving you solutions.
So what should the schools be doing if they're doing anything?
I think it'd be really great if the schools could say, we're concerned about this. Can we have a meeting? Can you come in and meet with the medical person or the nurse? Some schools are putting medical clinics in their schools so that there is greater access to care and resources. So I think the more personal we can make this issue, the less shame and stigmas around it, the better we can handle it.
Every school is a teacher conference, so why not make that an opportunity to have the school nurse step in, or the phys ed teacher? It can't be happening with every child. It's got to be able to be personalized.
Right.
We do have a statement from the school system which says we are enabling parents to opt out of this system. Do you think that improves it?
No, because I think a lot of parents, especially in some of the underserved populations, don't know that they can opt out. I think that a lot of parents do not know how to navigate a school system. It's not clear at all. And this is certainly something I encounter in my practice all the time, of who are you talking to in the school? Who's your contact? How are you reaching out? And they don't know. So I don't think parents realize all the time that they can opt out, or they think that they might get in trouble if they do opt out, and that gets taken out on the kid. So it's still not the greatest way to impart tough information.
All right. And the bottom line is, both of you don't like this.
We're not huge fans.
We
like the public health. We'd like to make it more personal.
Dr. Jen Hartstein and Lee Woodruff, thanks so much for being here this morning.